So, week 3 in the books. There was some massive historic performances in the NFL this week. Crazy. We'll get into that. You guys know the story. We're going to be breaking down the matchups, doing a little preview, doing a lot of shit talking, some other shenanigans along the way. I'm sure
some of us will have more fun than others.
Yeah, well, we got something for you boys. Anyway, so anyhow, here we are. We're doing it. Should we just get into a matchup? Let's talk a little bit about the league in general, because there's some juicy. There's some
70
juicy
burger. Talk about the Denver Miami game.
Good God,
there's no Broncos fans in this fucking league, are there?
Is Sean Payton
they gotta put a bag over their head these days. It's like the Detroit treatment from back in the day when they went 0 and 16.
New Orleans.
Yeah. So New Orleans hasn't been that bad in a long time. The Lions were that bad recently.
No, but pre-Katrina they were.
Oh yeah.
Do we think that Payton was going to quit or get fired?
Who are you talking about? Sean Payton?
Sean Payton,
yeah. I feel like
he's not getting fired
quit.
first year. Nah, he's too good. He's got too much pedigree.
He'll quit before he gets fired.
If he goes down, he's going down in flames. Which either way it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
He was supposed to turn it around, and he gave up the second highest points ever.
Okay, to be fair, he's facing probably one of the best offenses that we've ever seen in the last 20 years. I mean, they're insane. I mean, their backups are insane. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
A-Chain going for 200 though,
yeah.
Sean Payton. It's Sean Payton. How do you not scheme against that after a while? That's insane.
2 running backs with 4 touchdowns.
Well, not only do you have great play calling for Mr. Magic Mike McDaniels, that's what we call him now. That's a good name, right? So, but
that is a good name. That is a good name.
Did you see the photos you were showing with him back in his earlier days?
With the earrings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The video Magic where he's a Broncos ball boy. He's talking about how his life is going to be a failure if he's not a ball player for the Denver Broncos. And I was just roasting him.
Now he's just crushing them on Sundays, crushing their souls. No, man. Part of the problem there was, right, when they were up 42 to nothing or 42 to 7, the team gave up, man. The last 3-4 touchdowns they scored, the team did not care. The effort was not there in defense. I mean, the holes were so big.
I would argue the team didn't care about after the first touchdown.
Yeah, it just the only one that seems like he cares, because you could see it on his face after the game, was when they were interviewing that guard, Garrett Bowles, right? Mm-hmm. He looked so sad. It's just like, man, he's almost crying, dude. He's like, I've been here for 6 years. We've done nothing but lose. He's like, I'm tired of this shit. They just look like, an old 60-year-old workman that's been taking his pail to work every day.
And he's 24.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just brutal. And it's what's crazy is that Russell Wilson is still, if you look at his fantasy point production, he's still a top 8 quarterback, and they've been horrible.
Well,
which is insane.
That's Kirk Cousins being a top quarterback because they're always behind.
They're always throwing the ball. Well, it's different in Minnesota, right? They haven't been getting the breaks, beat off them like Denver did.
Yeah, but they're 0-3.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had so many chances to win that game.
0-3, and Kirk Cousins is the quarterback 2 on the season so far.
Kind of wild, Brett.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's one, right? I mean, you had Zach Wilson almost getting torn to shreds by the New York Jets fans. I don't know if you guys saw that video of him walking out the field with Robert Saleh and some of the things that were being said in the background by the fans in New York. It was brutal. He needed a bodyguard, that man. He needs to go around in disguise in New York, or he's going to get assassinated.
He's terrible. He's just so bad. He's the quarterback 33 right now, which means that there's one team in the league that has 2 players ahead of him.
Yeah, it's probably
it's Indianapolis. It's Indianapolis, by the way.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
Well, Mike White too. Mike White's probably right on his heels.
Yeah.
So he had a couple touchdowns.
He just needed one drive though.
Yeah. Why did they ever let Mike White go? I mean, that's the backup out there.
Even Flacco would be better if they still had him.
Anybody.
It's been a second round pick.
You see, Kaepernick reached out to him. I saw that as a headline today. Obviously, it's a joke, but
get out of here, Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to make money off of, like, whatever.
Yeah, we all saw that. We all saw that workout. His days are gone.
Yeah, everybody else saw it too. Oh, I heard somebody say the way to truly end it would be to actually just give him like a drive in the preseason and just watch him get completely wrecked, and then be like, all right, give us the ball, get out of here.
Yeah.
Well,
put in your keys and your badge.
Yeah.
you say that, but that's how Tim Tebow got the starting job in Denver.
Well, then cool.
Because
Fine.
John Elway said, okay, fine. You want to see it, fans? You want to see how bad he is? And then they put him in there and they went 6-0 while he was that bad.
And he won a playoff game.
He was as awful as John Elway said, and they just couldn't lose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had a great defense, but
yeah. And they had and there was a thing happening. There was a weirdness in the air.
That was Demaryius Thomas, right? That was the land of throw a 5-yard route to Thomas and watch him go for 88.
Yeah. Rest in peace, DT. Gone too soon, that guy. Anyway, so that's another storyline. There's a few others, lest I be accused of being a homer. The Packers had a crazy comeback in the fourth quarter. The Cowboys get wrecked by one of the worst teams in the league. We'll get to that later on. More on that later on, folks. So I think, honestly, those are probably some of the bigger storylines. Like, can you guys think anything else?
Yeah,
big injuries.
Okay, go ahead.
I was asking. I didn't catch a whole lot of the games this week, to be honest. So, were there any big injuries that you saw?
Mike Williams is the biggest one. He's gone.
Jake, how's that feel?
You would mention that. Yeah, I have a feeling.
He's the biggest one that went down.
First, so we're okay.
Current point lead over here just got a blow to his roster.
Is that the first week you put Williams in?
No, that was the second week.
Second week. Okay.
But
also the last.
That was a fun game to watch. We finally got the multi-view going. Sunday ticket. Oh, it was a nice Sunday.
That's a good multi-view Sunday.
Oh, it was a good one.
I've been loving it.
And you know what? The only game that I didn't watch in multi-view? The 70 burger.
How dare you?
I had money on other games. You guess what? Yeah. So if I would
pull it up on your phone, you have your 4 up on the TV, and then you have Miami on your phone.
I had the Packers on my phone.
Trash.
Gotta do it.
Trash.
Come on, man.
Garbage. Hey, but you know what? Excellent comeback win.
That was a good win. J Love, I feel like I can get a little bit of credit for calling this. I had a feeling Jordan Love was going to be actually decent this year, and I think he's even done better than what I expected him to do.
I've been saying it all offseason that he's a lot better than he was when he was filling in.
Quarterback 4.
Matt LaFleur might be a good coach.
One pick.
The Packers, I think, have you can say whatever you want about the Packers. Obviously, everybody knows Packers fan, diehard, everybody knows. They have a good system for bringing along quarterbacks. I mean, it's pretty clear at this point. I mean, they've been doing it for 30 years, so they get their guys ready. They do, man. They do.
You lottery pick 2 guys, and they happen to be Hall of Famers. Like, let's chill out on whatever system you're talking about.
That's kind of where I was.
Stuff to get them ready.
You get 2 right back to back in 30 years is great, but like is that a system, dog?
Well, it's 3 anyway.
I mean,
all I'm saying is,
if Jordan Love turns out to be good, they're batting 1,000, so it's hard to argue against it.
Something
in the water.
I mean,
not hard.
I'd rather have Jordan Love than Justin Fields or Sam Howell or Zach Wilson or Sam Darnold or like all the other fucking picks that everybody made in the first round. And then we make Jordan Love and we're screaming bloody murder because at the time it was a bad pick. We could have had CeeDee Lamb. Okay, we would have won a Super Bowl with CeeDee Lamb.
It was, even if he's like really good, it was still a bad pick because of what your team was made of that day.
But it's nice to see it panning out and it resulting in wins. And we're going to beat the Lions on Thursday. Enough said. So, it is what it is. They're favored over the Packers and the Packers right now.
I hardly trust Goff on a short week, especially, but I trust Love a little less on a short week.
From what I've seen, I would have said ludicrous 2 weeks ago, but I don't know, man. It could be good.
It's going to be a scrappy game.
I think you're right. I think it is going to be a scrappy game. I still think Detroit's going to win.
I think, but the reports are we're getting Jones back this week. He's practicing. He practiced today.
The rich get richer.
Watson's still out, though. So we need him back in a bad way. But you know what? Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs are playing well in his absence. They're playing well. So
that's good. That's a solid Thursday night preview. But let's end this 2-minute intro and get into some of these matchups.
It's true. It's true. I know we don't want to talk about these matchups, but like we got to do it, Patrick.
Why don't we start? Well, you want to start with mine because we always do.
Yeah,
want to do that.
Yeah, we always do. Why?
Okay. Well, you guys are obviously not in the Dynasty League, but me and Todd had a few talks before this week's matchup about some potential trade possibilities. Include you guys in on one. You and Jake Wilson there about one that was real close, and then he got cold feet. And, rightly so on his part because Devontae completely axe murdered me. His dagger through my soul. The man could not be guarded.
He's unguardable.
It doesn't matter who his quarterback is.
Nope.
He's one of the best receivers to ever do it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And even when Garoppolo was throwing up murder balls, too. I mean, he almost got his head taken off a few times because of some of those.
Just throw it up. Just throw it up.
Not in the middle of the field when you got a safety screaming across, please. We still like
he
to watch
still almost came down with that.
He almost got concussed. So, let's not do that, Jimmy G. But anyway, that was what really daggered me. I mean, if you look at the side-by-sides, 35-1, that's what did it.
So
we missed Jalen Waddle a lot. But he's coming back, and so we'll be all right. But nice to see Lamar get it going a little bit. I don't know why they couldn't finish that game. Their defense was doing everything for them.
Did you watch that game?
It looks good on paper for stats, but man, Lamar had a rough day.
Well, he did. Dude, the whole team had a rough day. The way they ended that game, and I know, Mr. Wilson, we spoke about this a little bit earlier today, but like, if you watch the final 3 minutes of that game, if you're a Ravens fan, you'd be pissed because they botched like 3 different calls at the end when all they had to do was choke that game out, and they just they executed in like the opposite manner. Like they did all the things wrong.
They needed 15 yards, but also uncharacteristically, Mr. Moneyman Justin Tucker. Okay, now it was a little bit of a wet game, so you have to put that into it. He might not have been able to plant his foot the way he needed to.
54.
To really yeah, Justin Tucker. That's money. Makes that all day long. That's money in the bank. Justin Tucker misses it. Just stopped in the air. It looked good. I was telling Eric, I was like, game's over.
Right down the line.
It fell short, and I was like, whoa, no way.
It didn't fall kind of short. It felt like 8 yards short.
He missed it by a good bit. So you wonder if the weather impacted that, if the wind was blowing the wrong way, whatever.
He's over. He's trash. He's garbage.
Washed kicker all the time.
Washed.
Get him out. Trade him.
It's over.
Trade him for a bag of beans.
Don't be holding on to that opera singer anymore.
He's broken.
But what really made the day for Lamar is that he was running the ball. 2 rushing touchdowns, 60, 70 yards on the ground. That's why you play Lamar. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
Madison had a good game, but looked terrible.
He looked like garbage.
Okay? And, I'm trying to trade him, but I got to be honest with you, folks.
The least fun 15 ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most surprising 15 ever.
He got so lucky. He should have had 3 fumbles in that game. But he also got unlucky, because there was a drag route in the 4th quarter where he was open by a mile. And I'm screaming at the TV. I'm watching him run across the field. There's nobody on him. I'm like, he's open. Throw him the ball. And then Kirk Cousins getting creamed in the backfield because the offensive line can't hold up. You know what I mean?
Trash.
And so that was brutal. We could have used that one. I mean, that would have been like 9 points. But
honestly,
Javonte –
I'm glad you didn't put up 125 because if Todd would have put up 124 just to go 0-3 to start the year to continue the trend, what do you do?
We'll get down to another brutal spot in my lineup, but I'm going to burn through it real quick. Javonte's getting going a little bit more, but Denver's a dumpster fire, so we don't like that. They're not going to
don't want anybody in Denver.
But his snap share's picking up every week. It was 40, and then it was 50. This last week it was like 60. You're getting there to the point where he could be a serviceable RB2 with his talent. He's a low-end RB2, but he'll get there, I think. He is. If you look at the opportunities he's getting, he'll get there. And you got to play him the right matchup. He'll get there.
His carries have been going down each game, though.
In what scenario? In what scenario is the right matchup because Denver's so bad?
Well,
Chicago.
they're playing the Bears next week, so that's the right.
That's
matchup.
about it. Who do you got next week? Because you got an extra RB2 on your roster for that matchup alone.
Well,
you won't be all right.
They can't play themselves.
You're
That's
not
right.
going to be okay. Your running back core is
That's why
garbage,
AJ Brown
dog.
is for sale, sure. That's why we got Jalen Waddle. We're all right.
You need anybody.
It's true. They're straight bad.
You should go pick up Tyson Chandler.
Listen.
My running backs look better than yours, and Zach Moss is my RB1 this week.
Relax. All right.
Yeah, no one can believe that.
You got to relax right into the fucking loser ladder, dog. That's what you're going to do. You better step it up. You better get a coffee in you.
We put up 112 with Jalen Waddle out.
You better wake the fuck up 1 and 2.
Cool 130. All right. Now all I got to say here is it's nice to see my wide receivers do what they were meant to do. Both of them over 100 yards. Now, it's nice to see that A.J. Brown can't catch a touchdown when I have a close matchup. That's nice. Drops 3 in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. We love to see that.
You love to see it.
It's great. He can do everything but catch a touchdown, apparently.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews still getting warmed up after the injury. I think he'll get going.
Still getting warmed up.
We'll see. Jackson Smith has been a huge disappointment. I still think you see him come on later in the year, but it's too much DK and Lockett out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, those are the guys. And that's what we were saying early on in the year. The guys that you wanted were Zay Flowers and Jordan Addison because the opportunity was right there for them. Okay,
Zay Flowers is it, by the way.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. And he got mugged, and there should have been a pass interference called on the last play of the game. For
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I forgot they got robbed. They sucked and they got robbed to lose that game.
They got robbed.
They did.
Brutal. It was so bad.
What a day to be a Ravens fan.
New England murdered the Jets, on defense, but we knew that. So Todd's side, yeah, but it was brutal. I mean, the job that their defense did, and then to have their offense put up 10 points, come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know. They're capping that Zeke and Ramondre just has to be the most frustrating backfield. I hate Pat. I would never touch a Patriots backfield because of Belichick.
That's exactly right.
Luis is starting them both. Luis is starting them both
and winning by a lot.
And he's got a better record than Patrick.
When you have Kelsey and Mahomes, you can't really do much wrong.
It's true. You got a margin. You got a safety net. But Todd's team, look, the first thing that stands out to me on his team that makes me laugh is that he benched Pat Freiermuth this week after struggling the first 2 weeks. And then he puts up 12 fucking points, and he gets a starting tight end performance of 1.3. Can't get it right.
Can't do it.
The footballers had a good stat that they brought up where Pat Freiermuth through the first 2 weeks had enough yards that you could count them on one hand. Okay, he had 4 yards in 2 weeks. Yep. So you can't blame him.
It just happened to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
He also had 2 touchdowns, right? 2?
Yeah.
He
got 2 now. He's got 2 after week 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 46 yards.
You know who else did not look good in an otherwise dominant performance again for his team was Jalen Hurts. The reason why Jalen Hurts, you got to start him every week is because that tush push is unstoppable. You get him at 1 yard out, it's an immediate touchdown. Every time.
They don't call another play.
No, they don't.
You don't have to worry about them trying something new on you.
We don't need running backs.
Although they did fake it, but he tripped, and Goddard was wide open in the end zone.
So they're gonna do that again.
Yeah. No. So and then I think they came right back and ran it and got touchdowns. So,
mm-hmm. Why did you do anything else?
Yeah. You had a couple bad throws.
Oh, sorry. Oh, if you're talking about the same thing, go ahead, finish your point.
Well, I was just saying he had a couple bad throws down the field off his back foot where you're just making a bad decision, not
a very good quarterback.
It's nonsense. He's a good quarterback. The thing is that he has not shown us the ceiling that he had last year yet.
I mean, he's pretty good on Madden, but
whatever, Cody. Anyway, it's fucking cowboy. The team's 3-0, man. He's put up 15 plus every week. He's a good quarterback.
They've been struggling a little bit though with some not dominant
They have
teams.
not
so
looked
they're just
sexy.
getting warmed up. It's either they're just getting warmed up or they've fallen off a little bit. But that would lead towards the former.
Mm-hmm.
You know what helped them a lot this week though is that they had Bradbury back. That makes a huge difference on their defense. Mike Evans still had a good game, but they absolutely shut down everybody else in that team.
Yeah.
Keep
Go
going.
ahead.
All right. So no, I'm just saying, like, it's the same effect that you saw when the boys still had Trevon Diggs. You got two, elite tier cornerbacks. Now, I would argue that Steph Gilmore and Trevon Diggs probably greater sign than Darius Slay and Bradbury, but it's not that far apart. Like, those are two very high tier cornerback rooms on both those teams.
That's
when
true.
you can do that on the outside and you have a great D line, that's makes for good defense. Yeah, we got to move. Right.
I didn't know Diggs had 18 picks in the last 3 seasons. Like,
Nasty.
I didn't think it was going to hurt the boys that bad, but
he got like 11. Like his second year in the league, he had, I think it was 11.
Something like that, 11 or 12.
Through the first 2 weeks. Through the first 2 weeks, he had allowed 5 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He was either tied or outright number 1 for most interceptions in a season. His second year in the league.
Yeah. He had as many interceptions as he had played in games at one point when he was first coming on. But
but anyway, Stephon Gilmore, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So has he been playing yet?
Yeah, he's been very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, they got that, but I didn't realize Diggs is going to be a big part. That's a big missing part right there.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. I mean, that's why they paid him a lot of money.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, if we're pushing on through Todd's team, he gets some game script from James Cook at the end of the game that racked up a lot of yards for him. Otherwise, James Cook wasn't doing anything. But he got like 30, 40 yards at the end of the game.
Then Kyron Williams came back to earth this week. I like that. As a person who's not Todd's team,
it was making everybody a little nervous.
When you put the Bengals up against the wall and they put them Siberian white stripes on, man, that defense plays at another level.
Well, Matt Stafford also was Matt Stafford again. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't think Matt Stafford played bad. I think that defense just played nuts. They had like 8 sacks, man. They were on him the whole game. Trey Hendrickson and Hubbard were in his face the whole game. They could not block those boys.
I'm kind of a Matt Stafford hater, though, so no convincing me otherwise.
I think he's playing well with a hot load of garbage.
I don't know how one could be.
He only has 1 Super Bowl. No, I'm kidding. But I've never liked him.
Because of 12 years in Detroit.
He got
that's one more than Dan Marino.
He had Megatron.
He's got as many Super Bowls.
Anything else.
He's got as many Super Bowls as Drew Brees.
Yeah, I'm just a hater.
Brees had better teams, dude.
No reason.
Yeah. But anyway, we already talked about Devontae. The other numbers are kind of pedestrian here. Devontae, obviously putting up points. Cleveland murdered Tennessee. That helps
him a lot. He's getting 30 points out of his kicker in his defense, which is a hell of a boost.
Oh, yeah. Dude, this is the second week out of 3 that Cleveland has only allowed 3 points.
They got a good defense there. And you know what? Deshaun Watson did not look bad throwing the ball this week. But
of all teams,
go ahead.
Of all teams to score on Cleveland has been Pittsburgh.
Yeah, weird, huh? But that was a weird game. There's a lot of tension there. It's a divisional game. Weird things happen,
It's true.
Yeah. But Tennessee to just for the wider knowledge, the 2 worst secondaries in the league, I would say right now, have to be Tennessee probably is one of the worst, and Indy. They're terrible in the secondary, both those teams.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing against them, start the wide receivers, whoever you got. But I think that's about it for this matchup. Yeah, should we go to the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, way to go, Todd. Getting in the winners column,
I mean, it's a solid. I beat him by 60 points in the other league, but whatever.
I mean, you guys have the same record in our league, so
relevant in this podcast.
You're both 1 and 2.
Just makes you feel better, but that's it. It's like
hey, Patrick, do you want to say anything about your 1 and 2 bullshit before we move on?
No, at least nobody's
good. We'll get back. All right. We got Jalen Waddle coming in this week. Very excited about that.
Always something good, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Silver lining kind of
Fantasy
guy.
Prince. Let's go.
When you're used to never winning, you got to find the light somewhere.
It's probably
started last year 1 and 3. It was tied for best record in the league. It's fun. Anyway, so here it is.
How'd that turn out?
Turned out just fine. Very close to getting into the championship.
You got to remember, Mr. Wilson, he's really okay with being in 3rd place.
Oh, now it's 3rd. See, I'm bumping my web this year.
You got 3rd. You got 3rd last year.
It's because you're the fantasy prince.
3rd last
year. Couple more years, I'll be in 1st, and then we'll be the fantasy king. It's all right. We're sending.
There you go.
We're sending.
All right, enough of this nonsense. What's the next matchup?
We got Austin and Allen.
I'm worried about this year.
Yeah, right.
Austin and Allen.
Austin
Okay.
now,
Cripple fight.
It's going to be sad to see one of the most exciting quarterbacks in the league right now not
Be
be
on
in the
Austin's
playoffs because he's on Austin's team.
No
The
shit.
quarterback 3,
Yeah.
Tua.
He's amazing. I mean, that offense,
He's got 8 touchdowns already on the year.
it's kind of wild the numbers they're putting up. But Derrick Henry is not – that offense is bad, so he's not going to be as good as he normally is. Again, you move on later into the year, and people don't want to tackle Derrick Henry, so he'll get better as the year goes on, as he always does.
Mm-hmm.
They call him the Yeti for a reason, and that's because when it gets cold out, you don't want to tackle that guy. So I think that's gonna his numbers will come up a little bit. I've been hearing some trade rumors about Derrick Henry though, because they think they got somebody that could replace him, Tajay Spears. So that could be spicy. See some
Put
CMC
Derrick
level.
Henry on the Cowboys.
Put Derrick Henry on the Eagles and see what happens.
You shut up.
No.
Yeah, don't put that in the universe.
You shut the
Too
fuck
many
up.
Mouth.
running backs.
You know what they should do? He should go to Cleveland.
Whoa.
Oh,
Let Nick Chubb go to free agency. Only got an MCL tear.
Ooh.
It works out for everyone.
Ooh.
But they're not gaining anything there. They're trading the old back for old back.
Works out for everybody but Chubb.
Yeah. They're like the same age. Henry's maybe a year
They're
too old.
doing Chubb dirty, real dirty.
Well, Chubb's lucky he only tore his MCL. So
because it looked like he had a third fucking leg.
Yeah.
Dude.
But I mean, Austin, honestly, there's nothing really to speak of here. Kind of terrible performances all around.
There is something to speak of because there is something that would have changed the outcome of this game.
Oh,
the 31-point defensive performance on the bench. That one, I saw the lineup, and there's no way you could tell me starting Jacksonville is a better play than starting the Bills.
They got -4 to 31. That was a 35-point swing, dog.
No.
Yeah, you start Buffalo. You're playing Sam Howell, dude.
Yeah.
Buffalo, you cannot do that, man.
If you got Buffalo's defense, I feel like you drafted a spot where you're not streaming defense. That's your team.
That's your defense.
You got the Cowboys defense, you play them. You got the Jets defense, you play them. Well,
Browns.
You did, but
yeah.
Browns.
Nobody thought the Browns before the year, but now if you got the Browns, you're playing them every week.
But he got fucking nervous because he had an availability of a Houston-Jacksonville matchup. He picked a division game. You don't know how those are going to go.
And Jacksonville doesn't have an elite defense. They don't have any playmakers on defense. Nope. Okay, Buffalo's got a group of gang of guys.
Austin, come on.
And I played Buffalo everywhere at DFS, and it was fun.
How does Jacksonville have people like Calais Campbell, and then they can never hang on to them, and then they're projected to be pretty good now, and then they have 0 star ability on their defense?
Well, I think
it's an alliteration. It's called Blake Bortles. That's how they don't hang on to any of those guys.
I get that.
They couldn't win. They had a great defense, and Jalen Ramsey and Clay Campbell are like, well, we're great, so we're going to go get paid somewhere else and also win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about Blake Bortles coming out of college around the NFL draft, and they were just talking about his precision and how he could just drop it into in the post, and he just did none of that.
There was a time when he was a top 5 quarterback, though, because he used to run the ball all the time.
Every single year, there seems to be a college quarterback coming to the league that I've never heard of, that I didn't watch. In the last month, right before the draft, it was Will Levis this year, by the way. They're like,
Mac Jones.
Yeah, well, no, we watch Mac Jones every week because he plays for Alabama. He's winning championships, but it's a guy that's not on a team that has any fucking oomph to him, and you're like, he's NFL ready. He's like Joe Flacco was a huge example, and he was good, but
good for me. That's Mahomes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, if you'd have seen the points they were putting up in Texas Tech, though,
that's fair.
We might not have watched them, but that one,
nobody knew Pat Mahomes was going to be what he is, though.
Right.
You know what I mean, he landed in a great spot too. He got Andy Reid. He got one of the best offensive minds ever to tutor him.
And you got to watch Alex Smith for a year.
Yeah, who was also a great quarterback too in his own right.
Not a scrub. He just got screwed by coaching. The exact opposite of Patrick Mahomes.
And a terrible hospital in Washington.
Literally almost died from them.
Well, in his first 7 seasons, he had 7 different offensive coordinators. So
it's not helpful.
They ruined Alex Smith.
Yeah. But let's talk about Allen's team. Obviously, Allen is just benefiting from probably outside of Miami and LA. I mean, maybe even more than them, the most pass happy team in the league. I mean, they don't want to run the ball. They don't care to run the ball. They don't want to hear about it. They want to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hockenson, and that's it. It doesn't matter what the record is. They're going to keep doing it.
Their defense is going to give up a lot of points, so they're going to throw the ball.
Yep. And it's working out. Even though they're losing,
44 passes, and 50 passes.
It's working out for Allen's fantasy team. That's what it's working out for.
Yeah. I think he's putting up 350 yards a week right now.
Yeah.
That's 14 points, even if he doesn't score a touchdown.
And 9 touchdowns to 2 picks. Like didn't have bad numbers. They look worse if you add the 3 fumbles, but
it looks worse if you watch. Because
it does.
They make a lot of mistakes.
It's so crazy because you're right. Because you see their numbers on this fantasy fucking website, and you're like, yeah, Minnesota. You watch those games, you're like, Jesus Christ, Minnesota.
You want to be like, oh, they're one of the 0-3 teams that maybe just kind of misrepresented some bad fortune. Then you watch them, you're like, oh no.
The underlying data would tell you the story though, because I bet you that Kirk Cousins' average depth of target on his throws is very high because they throw the ball down the field. It's 20 yards down the field almost every throw because Justin Jefferson's running, a corner route, a post route, and he's 15 yards a catch. You know what I mean? Like every time. And it's like he makes it look easy. So, Allen gets a little bit of a low point total because in a game where you would expect Dallas to dominate, Tony Pollard still had a great game, 100 plus yards, but they weren't scoring. They were not executing in the red zone. It was a rough week to be watching the Dallas offense. I mean, they had 3 starters out on the line.
It was a rough time watching their defense too, dog. Don't sleep on that.
Yeah,
I mean
put up 400 yards on
anything going.
Nope, they couldn't. Yeah, I mean, he had 3 of his 5 linemen that didn't play, which is tough. But
and 2 of them the best in the league at their positions. So
2 of them are Hall of Famers, and 3 starting linemen out in the same game, and it looked like it.
How many times did he get sacked?
I'm not sure.
Not a whole lot, because a lot of the game plan was running in short dumps.
Yeah, there was 3-step drops everywhere.
That makes a difference, man. A big difference. You know?
You can't push the ball down the field.
I just
we're getting
but he's
off track.
That's all right. But anyway. No, it's all good, man. So, and then Travis Etienne looked good. He was the only good thing for Jacksonville in that game. He looked good. Every time they got the ball to Travis Etienne was making something happen. Sure. And they were going to him all day when they were trying to come back, and they just couldn't do it because they were turning the ball over, and they were allowing Tank Dell to roast them down the field. And Tank Dell was doing it.
It just looks like this is another bit of evidence why you play any running back you got against Houston.
Yeah, you play your running backs against Houston. Their run defense is not there, but I mean, you got to give D'Amico Ryans a shout out for turnaround on that team. You know what I mean? They've been competitive in every game, and they're not a good team. You know?
And that fullback touchdown return on the kickoff, that was so funny.
He faked the fumble, got them all looking at the fumble, and then he juked 3 guys. This is the slowest kickoff return for a touchdown that I've ever fucking seen in my life.
It took 11 minutes. Yeah.
The Great White Hope, that guy. Anyway, Olave, interesting. I'm very intrigued to see what Olave is going to look like with Jameis, because
the numbers are going to be bigger. The numbers are going to be bigger.
I think so. Yeah,
it's going to be fucking sailing.
Oh yeah, that's when he was lined it up last year. Was with Jameis.
Oh, he touchdowns.
He's catching 50% of them, but the ones he catches are 80-yard touchdowns.
Last year with Jameis, he had by far, it wasn't even close, the most air yards through the first 5 weeks. It's like the most yards that like they're throwing the ball down the field to him. Like, and he wasn't catching all because James Winston. Right. James Winston is going to sit back and chuck it.
Think about the Olave. Go ahead. Sorry, I was just saying, like the trade in our league, Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. They both lost their quarterback, but they went in opposite directions, which makes that trade even more skewed potentially.
Do we know how long Derek Carr's out?
Interesting.
He's going to be out probably. He might hit the IR, man. I think he's probably looking 3-4 weeks because he's got AC sprain.
So we're missing Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield matchup.
I don't know.
Well, they'll get each other twice.
Over Garrett Wilson is like so much more valuable. Every single week, Olave has another catch of the week nomination.
It's true.
The dude is insane.
Well, if Garrett Wilson
needs to be that guy just to catch like a routine like a ball.
It's true. It's just about who's throwing the ball. They don't have a second quarterback in New York, so Aaron's gone, and that's it.
Well, they signed Trevor Siemian. Well, you got news for you, New York. That ain't the answer. We've seen that show many times before.
Good God.
But he might be better than Zach Wilson, so we'll see.
I mean,
he very well might be.
Gotta be better than Zach Wilson.
What else we got with this one?
Allen gets a win putting up less than 92. Look at that.
Allen's got wide receivers coming out of his ear holes. Look, and they're all putting up like 7 to 14. Every one of them.
I don't know what we're doing. I mean, I know DK was a little bit banged up, so I can kind of cut him a little bit slack on that. But I don't know why we're throwing Nico in over DK. You know,
look at Nico Collins week 1 and 2. That's why. Look at his numbers. Yeah,
I know, but it's still DK, man. Nico does not have the upside that DK.
I mean, he got 11 targets week 1, 9 week 2, and then he dropped all the way down to 3 this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe the worst defense out of the 3.
Well, no, because Indy's the worst defense out of the 3.
Yeah,
Indy doesn't have a secondary.
Yeah. Also,
and they're gonna play them again too.
Sorry to say for Mr. Wilson too, by the way, that I think we're looking at Josh Kelly for another couple of weeks.
Ooh.
That's what I've been hearing. Eckler ain't practicing, and the news has not been good lately.
Well, I mean, he played this week as a starter and got 2.2. So
does that mean we're moving on?
Weird.
Does that mean we're moving on?
I think we should probably move on.
That's a good segue. Let's go on to a little bit of vanilla victory over here.
Okay, well, that's not the next one on mine, but we'll skip ahead. We'll go back to yours.
Who gives it? Fuck you. How about that?
Hey, well, the host is the host, sir. How dare you? You were the dress.
The host is 1 and 2. You shut the fuck up.
Shut up, man. You're about to be in the dumps.
Man, it was just a few weeks ago with all the winners pod.
It was, and now there's one winners pod.
Yeah.
Let's go. It's right here.
All right. So, Jake, what do you got to say for yourself, sir?
I mean, the story with my team is the same it's been the last 2 weeks. It's I'm bare bones. I got the exact number of people to start that I can put in a roster, and I got some people eating up space on my bench waiting for them to exist, if they're ever going to exist. I will say I'm getting a whole bunch of trade offers from people. I say that. It's like a small handful. But they all want Jonathan Taylor. They all want Cooper Kupp. And you fuckers were nowhere 3 weeks ago. You're not getting them now. I waited all this time with them on my bench. I got to keep them.
Absolutely not.
Positive about your team right now that's on your bench now that Mike Williams is hurt.
True.
Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, as long as all those touches don't just go to Joshua Palmer.
The Quentin Johnston beacon of hope on Jake's roster.
I mean, I'm still putting up 90 to 100 points like 3 weeks in a row, but it's with my first, my second, my third, and my 5th round pick were out this week. So what do you do?
Just ringing points out, man. As much as you can.
And in 3 weeks, I've gone against 2 different Dolphins players that have put up a 40 burger on me. So that fucking blows.
Brutal. But here's the thing, man. How is the plan in New York not to just give Brees Hall the ball 25 times a game? What are we doing?
Gotta be.
Man. That's on the coaching. What are you doing?
They're probably just trying to preserve them so they don't lose their quarterback and their best running back in the same
Honestly,
season,
they should just kill 2 birds, get a receiver and a quarterback on one, and go get Keenan Allen.
What?
Because Keenan
Allen helps the Jets without a quarterback?
No, he'd play quarterback.
Oh,
he'd be better than Zach Wilson. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like that angle better.
Okay. I was like, that one way out. And then came right back.
I forgot that his one touchdown was a fucking passing touchdown.
Yeah,
that's right.
Fun.
But just like Mike White.
Yeah.
Damn.
But Zach Moss looking good. Looked good. Looked good running the ball. Looked good catching the ball.
Zach Moss is good. I've got a quarterback problem, though, because if you look at Daniel Jones against the 2 good defenses he played, he put up 4 points both times. And the time he went against a bad team, he was at -1 right before halftime, and then somehow squeezed out 31. But the Giants suck.
They have no O-line. Their O-line might be bottom 3 in the league. Their O-line is horrendously bad. They're so bad up front. And if you look at their PFF ratings, they'll tell you that. They're real bad. Their loss rate on block attempts is like in the gutter. It's really bad. But
you made a comment about Zach Moss. It's a little bittersweet with him doing what he's doing. I think the best case scenario for me now is, I mean, it's a hope and a prayer, but Jonathan Taylor getting traded, because then I'd have Zach Moss as a starter there and Taylor as a starter somewhere else. Because right now, Jonathan Taylor just coming back means I lose 18 points from Zach Moss. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Who's going to do that though? Like so like, okay, let's take a look at the top 5 teams right now. Okay, I mean, you can agree to disagree, whatever. You probably got Buffalo, 49ers, Philly,
Baltimore,
Miami. Dallas. Baltimore, yeah, sure. Dallas, I mean, questionable now, but they're flirting with it. So which one of those teams is trading for Jonathan Taylor, though? You got CMC. Swift is balling out. You don't need to mortgage your future. Swift is playing fine. You know, you have running backs on all those teams. James Cook is doing fine for Buffalo.
Maybe Baltimore. You don't have one in Cleveland.
Or Baltimore. No, I think Baltimore and Buffalo make sense, because why would Cleveland do that when they're going to get Nick Chubb back next year and they're still winning games? It doesn't make sense to me.
I see Buffalo.
I think Buffalo could do it because the window is starting to close.
They need a pump.
Well, hear me on this though. The Colts are 2-1. Everybody else in their division is 1-2. We talked a couple weeks ago. If the Colts look like they might be in contention to win the division with Anthony Richardson, that might be more of a drive for JT to come back and play for them.
It might also be a drive to like just fucking pay the guy. You have a good team, maybe. You know what I mean? Like you can get to the playoffs. Like just give him some money, man.
If he doesn't play at all for the Colts and they don't trade him, he could be franchise tagged again next year, if I understand that correctly.
Unless they don't have a quarterback who keeps doing the Orlovsky.
Yeah. He played good. Yeah.
They still squeezed it out, though. They did.
Because Baltimore gave that away.
Yeah,
Baltimore gave that away.
The refs gave it away, too.
The refs also did. There was a lot of people involved in gift giving.
Yeah. You finally get a Kittler. The Kittler showed up.
I did, but it took Brandon Ayuk being out, so it's just another swap season. You know what I mean?
He's coming back. Right. Well, they're doing another swap because it's probably Debo out this week and Brandon Ayuk's coming back.
So I love that.
Right now. I love that. I'm gonna beat Luis. We'll get to this later, but I'm gonna be 2-2 after this week because Luis is going down.
Ooh.
Look at that.
You'll see.
Let's talk about Wifey's team because she had a nice week.
We should talk about that. About one.
He did have a nice week.
I mean, she got a 40 burger and then like a decent week other than that. But
you want to know what's gonna.
But the 40 burger means something.
It does.
You want to know what's going to sting for you, sir? She almost didn't play Raheem Mostert because Denver supposedly has a good run defense.
I remember people talking about this.
Almost did.
I remember people talking about this.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Could you imagine A.J. Dillon being in that spot instead?
The play she was going to do, she was going to play. Yeah, it was A.J. Dillon. She was thinking A.J. Dillon. And then
I might have considered Burrito over Dillon, but
she was making some noise about Burrito.
But I was like,
playing San Francisco. You do what you want, but hey, you know.
I mean, New Orleans. I'm not running the ball in them either. You know what I mean? Like it's both those matchups are bad.
If she'd have played AJ Dillon instead of Raheem Mostert, she beats me by.
Although Matt Breida against San Francisco too. Sorry,
she beats me by 0.8. If she
so
she would have won.
Still wins, but still, yeah.
That one would have felt worse.
It would have after losing by 2 last week.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been
funny.
I'm glad she played.
Everyone's happy about Raheem Mostert getting in. Then sweet.
For the love of football, it was nice to see Jamar Chase do Jamar Chase things because he looked nice out there. It was all going to him too because T. Higgins had the drop skis. I don't know what's going on there.
He looked like Kadarius Toney out there.
He had 8 targets too. He could have produced. He had 8 targets and he caught 2. And 3 of those were absolutely on him.
We digress. We digress.
Well, but
Calvin Ridley coming to earth. Christian Kirk's starting to look like an equal to Calvin Ridley in that offense. By the way,
I don't know what's going on there.
I don't either. But I thought like you guys because we all saw it like Calvin Ridley's team. Calvin Ridley all day. Let's go. And now, not.
We got to remember. Who did they play that week? Indianapolis.
Yeah,
Okay?
you're right.
And
You're
that's
right.
one of the
That's
worst
important
secondaries
to
in the
know.
league. Yeah.
That's important to know.
So, we're seeing
Okay.
maybe some truth to that come out a little bit.
No,
Maybe
you might
it's
be
not
right.
as great as we thought.
Maybe it's
We'll
not.
see.
Hmm.
I think that's about it. Yeah. I mean, the rest of them, there's not much to speak of. You had nice games out of Zay Flowers, very involved. Best rookie wide receiver, I think.
My absolute favorite rookie wide receiver right now.
Jordan Addison's making a case. Jordan Addison was not involved in that game until the fourth quarter, and then he got 5 catches in a row.
Mm-hmm. Zay Flowers looks like fucking Steve Smith out there.
Good comp.
Yeah, it is a good comp. He runs good routes. He was ready for the league. He's got speed. He's got shiftiness in the open field. He's got good hands. He's going to be a guy in the league.
Yeah.
Early One nice little positive note for you, Jake, that I did not expect is Cortland Sutton, just because he's been so flat for the last couple of years.
Honestly,
and that's a nice little
boot
for you. Yeah.
That was like a mercy touchdown.
Well, he's only getting in my lineup because the week before that, he was the one that dropped the 2-point conversion the Broncos were going for. It was right in his numbers.
Oh, man.
And it would have possibly been enough to give me the win, too. But honestly, the prayer I was going with, the only reason Russell Wilson was the guy I picked up to put in for Daniel instead of Daniel Jones was because of maybe getting some Cortland Sutton magic for the combo. I got a little bit, but not nearly enough.
I still think when Judy gets back to 100% after his injury, you're going to want to throw Cortland Sutton in the dumpster.
Oh, and I fully plan on it.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be Judy and Mims Jr.
Yeah, when I've got D-Hop, hopefully Cooper Kupp and Ayuk in, he never sees my lineup.
I don't see why we're not throwing the ball down the field to Marvin Mims more. In an offense that is starving for production, you have
because Russell Wilson can't throw the ball down the field anymore.
You might be right, but you have a lightning quick. But the week before, he had 2 touchdowns, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? You have a lightning quick rookie. What I'm saying is, man, give the guy a chance. He's got the wheels, man. You need to do something.
You heard it here first. Bring back Kyle Orton.
That's what you heard. Huh?
Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
And that'll be the last time you ever hear that, too. But anyway.
How about this? How about Jake Plummer?
Hey, I love Jake Plummer.
Yeah, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Jake Plummer's the shit.
That's a good fit.
Bam, mullet from heaven.
The only other comment that I got on Erica's team is that and I know we're not super hopeful, but if Josh Jacobs can put out a decent season compared to what he's done through 3 weeks, Erica's got a pretty scary team.
You know
I think Josh Jacobs is over.
Might be.
I think he's over.
Hold on a minute. Because if you watch that game, there were signs of life for Josh Jacobs.
I didn't watch it.
He was getting yards after contact. I saw some stuff out of Josh Jacobs this week.
He looked good, He looked good?
He looked better.
It was a good-looking 9.5, Cody.
It was probably a better looking 9.5 than Madison's 15.
Listen, absolutely it was.
Yeah.
100%.
He's a second-round pick that hasn't hit double digits yet.
I think you're going to see him get going a little bit. I really do.
I don't know if this offense is that for him.
Well, part of the problem in that game was game script again, right? Because at the end of the game, they had to just keep chucking it because they were down. So
it's weird that the Steelers are 2-1 after this fucking thumping they took.
Well, that offense, you know what? Their offense against a bad defense, admittedly, they looked all right. They were running the ball okay. They were really using really basic run schemes, but it was working. 5 yards a carry. Najee was picking up tough yards and getting tackled when he should be getting 15 yards because he's slow as hell.
Slow.
He runs tough, but slow.
It's not even that tough anymore.
It looks like they altered the speed of the camera when you see him chunking to the edge.
Mm-hmm.
They moved the game speed sliders down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But just for one guy, everybody else is flying.
Najee should be getting inside the 5 in short yardage only, and otherwise it should be Jalen Warren all day long because he's.
It's wild to watch. It's wild to watch Najee Harris's career happen already.
I don't think Pittsburgh's given up.
It's already over. It's over.
Well, here's the thing too. You got to remember when Najee came in to the league,
he's as slow as Leonard Fournette now.
He was already when he entered the league. He was 22. He'd already burned 2 of his years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had a lot of carries in college.
He did.
A lot of carries.
He did.
You know, wear and tear. But
was he at Alabama all 4 years? What? That is wild.
His last year at Alabama, he
didn't start all 4 years because that running back room was everybody.
It was always stacked.
You don't start 4 years in Alabama unless you're Mark Ingram.
Yeah. That's it. And of all people to do it, you know?
He was remember him in college, man?
I know, but he was starting. He was starting over Derrick Henry.
And he looked great.
And he was good at it. He was so good at it.
A young Mark Ingram, you got to remember that man was nasty.
Even 5 or 6 years into his career. Do you remember when that first year where him and Kamara were just shredding it?
Man, we are off the rails. I just realized. Sorry, guys.
Whatever. This is what we do.
Oh, geez.
We're on brand.
We're way gone.
We're almost at the hour mark, and we're in
Mark Ingram territory. We're in Mark Ingram territory.
Right on pace. Let's go to the next one. I think this one's done.
Yeah, we got to get out of
here. We roasted that one. Let's go to Cody and Jacoby. Cody, what you got?
I've got Keenan Allen.
You sure fucking do.
There you go. Mike Williams goes down. I got more Keenan Allen. Austin Eckler's going to miss more time. I've got more Keenan Allen, baby.
How about
that's what I got?
18
for 20. 90% catch rate.
Yeah. Well, Herbert only gets 3 throws all day, but he was insane.
Disgusting.
He looked.
And that was
so
with
good.
Mike Williams putting up some numbers too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was. It wasn't like Williams missed the whole game.
No,
because Keenan Allen was throwing touchdowns to him.
50-yard touchdowns. By the way. Yeah, no,
that's disgusting.
That was a fun game to watch Keenan Allen dominate. I was like, oh yeah, this is the Keenan Allen that we all know and love.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
You got -2 from your defense, and it's still the defense won overall.
That's crazy
because they put up 40 in week 1.
Yeah,
it's true.
35 and 16.
Super disappointing because I thought I had a chance for another 30 piece there. So like seeing that happen. Well, and like because Anthony Richardson was down with a concussion, it's Dak Prescott and the Dallas defense, which means they are winning if those 2 numbers are good. And so against Arizona, you think, hell yeah, man! If I have to do it, give me this week to do it. And as bad as that game was, for me to pull out a win was because Keenan Allen exists, and we are forever thankful for that.
Yeah, because your running back 2 spot we knew was going to be exposed with no Chubb. Was fully exposed. No Jones again. This meant you had to put in Craig Reynolds. 1.5.
That game was gross.
That game was nasty. Did not like watching that one on TV at all.
Nobody looked good. Maybe Amon-Ra.
He touched the ball 4 times.
Yeah,
he touched the ball 4 times.
I really thought you'd get some red zone action with him, but it was still Jahmyr Gibbs, and he is not a fucking red zone running back. He doesn't have that.
Jahmyr Gibbs did not look great, man.
No, he did not. He did not. The Lions didn't look great, but like
they didn't. But they won a scrappy game. You know,
they did.
They did what they needed to because it's not hard to beat Desmond Ridder.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you make.
But keeping beating on out of the end zone, I think that's a good task right there. Task well done.
Right. Because they're not a defense known for doing a whole lot. So keeping him out is pretty big because he's gonna score a lot of touchdowns in this league.
Go ahead.
I was gonna move it on down the line. Not get involved in the Lions defense too much. Because like I got Dallas Goedert like coming back to some average after not being involved for a couple weeks. So like you get 6 points out of tight end, I feel good about that. Unless you got one of the guys and I don't, like that's fine by me.
You know what was weird about that game is all that production happened early, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we don't need Dallas Goedert. We have AJ Brown about to spend."
He got it so early that you're like, "Oh shit!" You might be seeing just a game centric thing, like give him 12 catches just because it keeps happening. But I was happy with what he got. It was one thing I was not that thrilled about was Puka coming way down to earth. He still had a good game because his production was there, but it went from 15 targets a game to 7.
So what that's all about is Cincinnati. You target Cincinnati in the middle of the field, which is why Tutu and Higbee had good games. You do not target them on the outside. Their outside corners are good. You have to throw the ball in the middle of the field on them. Puka plays on the outside most of the time. So, I mean, that's what it was, really. If you watch that game, that's what it was. He was not open much until he saved his day with that 40-yard one at the end of the game.
Absolutely. Too bad he couldn't get the end zone. That'd been sweet. Hey, what's the status update on Cooper Kupp? It's important for my Puka man.
I haven't checked in the last couple of days, but as of last week, they were pretty confident in him being available week 5. It's not for sure, but
yeah,
I think he probably already could be playing. But you have one of the best wide receivers in the league. Why are we going to risk re-injury? We don't expect them to playoffs. You know?
I got one more week of Puka, which is what I need to beat Allen. Battle the fucking. Well, we'll get into that.
Well, anyway, the big question is who gets hurt the most, because Tutu's been putting up numbers too. You know, which one of them gets the wide receiver 3 role and which one of them gets wide receiver 2?
Tutu.
Well, to me, it might be Puka that suffers the most because he plays on the outside. And he plays a very similar role to Cooper Kupp.
I think it hurts them both. It could hurt them both equally too, because the way McVay runs an offense, he's a smart coach. And he can move Cooper around to where he's inside, outside, in between, backfield even, you know?
Realistically, though, I think that's probably the best case scenario for me. Like, if they both just take a hit because it turns out Puka Nacua is very good.
Yeah, because even if he takes a little hit, he's a flex starter every week.
Big.
I like him, man. He looks like just a solid dude, too, every time I see him.
Yeah, it's so weird because it's just because of his name. It seems like the first name seems like a small man, but then every time he's lined up, especially when he's in the slot, you're like, he's a foot taller than that defender.
It could be a small man or like I'm Puka, you know?
Yeah. Like well, he's a wide receiver, so he can't be that, right?
Yeah. but you know what's funny is that who would have seen Adam Thielen coming back from the grave?
Well, all it took was Andy Dalton.
Wide receiver
14 targets, like prime time Thielen numbers. 11 catches for $145 and a touchdown.
And it's the red rifle.
Oh man.
What has he been doing the rest of the week or the year?
He had an okay week last week.
He had a touchdown last week that gave him a 17-point stat line, but the week before that he had 2 catches for 12 yards.
So, and the thing that's going to keep him going, Mingo picked up an injury. So they're getting shorthanded there. And Adam Thielen is the best thing in town down there. So he's probably going to keep going.
Well, that's great news for Jacoby, because if he keeps trading away all of his talent, he's going to need someone to step up that you're not expecting.
Well, he's going to need him for this week because Debo's going to be out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think I improved his quarterback position like significantly.
I mean, Justin Fields looks bad.
I don't know.
Really
Justin
bad.
Fields going to be out of a job after this year. He keeps playing.
I think you're right. If he just starts like running for his life, like, because you heard him in that, we all heard that interview. He's like overcoached, you know. Yeah. Like if he does that, those are great for fantasy numbers. Like if he's just running around, he's the best athlete on the field. Like he won't win any games, but he'll look good on your fantasy roster.
It just feels like the coaches won't let him do it. Like he'll get the ones where the play breaks down. He doesn't have a choice but to scramble for his life. Mm-hmm. But they're not doing any design QB runs, like 3 a game.
They also, what's hurting him, because what the actual game plan is, if you want him to be able to pass the ball still, you don't want him running all over the field and doing the scramble drill, whatever that we saw last year that was fun for fantasy, is you have to be able to run the ball. And then you run play action and you roll him out, get him on the move. Because then all he's got to do is make 2 reads and take off.
Yeah.
That's the game for Justin Fields, okay? Mm-hmm. You can't make him sit back there and read a defense. He's not there yet. And then who knows if he'll ever be.
If he'll ever be. Yeah, with that coaching staff especially. But Fields is in the new trade, right? Isn't he going to be on Strozzi's team this week?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
You're going to be on Strozzi's bench.
Who did you give him?
Jordan Love and David Njoku.
I would absolutely take Jordan Love over Justin Fields right now.
100%. Well, and that's what Jacoby's going to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him 100%. I was thinking of a trade piece, and I was not expecting him to put up 10 this week. So
I do think it's funny that in that one trade that feels a little like goofy, Jacoby might actually improve his team just by getting rid of the 2 Bears on it.
Oh shit!
You do not want the Chicago.
You don't want anyone in Chicago on your starting roster. You don't.
So
even
funny.
if it's Justin Fields.
Again.
Hey, they did salvage DJ Moore's day last night, though, or yesterday, 2 days ago. So
Jacoby, oddly enough, and we got to give I don't think we have to give Dave credit because I don't think he knew when he was doing it, but he absolutely gave Jacoby probably one of the best running back tandems in the league right now because DeAndre Swift is looking great.
Yeah, well, he's gonna have Kamara coming off the suspension this week too.
Yeah,
and he's probably going to get a lot of work because they can't run the ball down there either. So
Jacoby's going to have
not Kamara, but McCaffrey is straight money. He's just cash in the bank. As long as he stays healthy, he's incredible.
With Debo gone, he'll be better. But of course, if you have both of them, that doesn't help your squad.
I think we're seeing 2,200 yards out of McCaffrey this year.
God, I hope so. I mean, that'd just be fun to watch.
I think if Debo misses any significant amount of time, I completely agree with that.
He's got 65 fantasy points through 3 weeks.
He's putting up 150 yards combined every single week.
His numbers are almost identical every week. The yards change a little bit, but they just like the point total is almost exact same. If he catches 20 less yards, he just rushes for 20 more.
I was pissed. Man. I was pissed this week because I had him in Dynasty, and I was like, he only scored 20? Like, come on, man.
I know that feeling when you've got the lead horse of all time. Like you see something like 21 points. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Where's that 30? We need that 30.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I needed that 30.
Yeah. It's just, sadly for Jacoby, the bottom half of his team is the problem. Maybe if he gets Kamara back and Thielen can keep doing some stuff, he might have a squad. Maybe.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just pick it. That Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave swap really hurt him.
It's going to hurt him all year.
Yeah, it is.
But anyhow, should we move on to the next one?
Yeah. I say Jacoby goes for a Nigerian buyback and trades back for Chris Olave at a markup.
That's not a chance because I think Allen is feeling redemption for giving away Amon-Ra last year.
Yeah, you saw the text he sent to the wrong group. Yeah. He's not trading. He's
Allen ain't doing shit until he starts losing. Which who knows?
Start this week.
He's got a good squad.
Gonna start this week.
I don't think so, man. I think
it's gonna start tonight in a mad matchup. It's gonna be gross.
That I can see.
Which one you got next? Let's leave the big match for last, huh?
So the high scores.
Oh, hold on. Time out. Suck it, Jacoby.
Gotta get one of those every week. Can't wait to start losing.
3-0, baby.
This motherfucker over
Top of the mountain.
Anyway, anyhow, let's talk about chilling with Mahomes. Thank you, by the way, for changing your team name to a relevant.
We all like that. We all like that.
You were gonna get booted out on that ground alone.
I would have voted you out, even though I love that kid. I would have said he's got to go.
You got to get out of here. Can't be doing that.
I'm gonna fly.
But it's Jack's on, Jack's off, sir. That's the only Lamar pun that we're getting. Anyway,
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
I thought I workshopped it. I had some other ones that were not as good.
You were,
but the story here is Brent. Okay, the one-time point master, just not. It just he's getting weighed down by having to play the two Atlanta running backs. And he keeps doing it, and he's got to stop doing it. He's got to find something else,
Got to, but what's he got? Look at his running back depth.
Jalen Warren, put him in.
I would.
He needs Jeff Wilson back.
Jeff Wilson ain't gonna have a job.
Nope. Not out of chain.
Also, apparently, it's the way he wants everybody to say his name is A-Chan. By the way,
A-Chan, got it.
Yeah.
I'm not an analyst.
Is it Devon or Devon?
Devon A-Chan. It's Devon A-Chan.
Is it Devon or Devon?
Devon.
Devon A-Chan. Got it.
I was hoping to get some smoke from Brant today. Sending that text message to the group about
but hey, listen,
the opposite of a point leader.
He's in the dumps, dude.
He is a defeated man.
Yeah, he's not 0-3, he's 1-2. He beat me last week by 2 points. We have the same record.
He's 1-2.
I'm not
the worst points, and he's 0-3 in his Minnesota Viking team.
And he
beat me last week, and I'm still ahead of him in the standings with a team that doesn't exist.
Brand is having a bad month.
They had a real solid chance of getting the first win this week, and they blew it. So, he's still got Josh Allen, so you can hang your hat on that. CeeDee Lamb's going to get better. We know that. CeeDee Lamb's not going to put up 10 points a week. He's too good for that.
Yep.
Bijan is not going to be scoring 8 a week. Okay, he's too good for that.
I don't know, man. Like, aren't you loading boxes against Atlanta?
I mean, you should be because God, that man cannot throw the ball.
Dude, Detroit did that to Atlanta, and we know that Detroit's defense isn't what you think those numbers are.
Detroit's got a good run defense. They don't have a good secondary, but they do stop the run well. They do. They got a good run defense. You look at the numbers, they do, but they do not defend pass, so that matched up for them perfectly in this game.
Yeah, you're right.
Because, I mean, the only quarterback that I would put on par with how bad Zach Wilson is this man down in Atlanta. Because, man, is he terrible. You know?
Are you refusing to say his name because he's so bad?
He's so bad. He doesn't deserve to be mentioned, man. He's like,
I like that move.
You know what I mean?
Like that.
Like,
yeah.
It's just disgusting. And, you know, you would think he would be able to run the ball a little bit more, but he can't do that either.
And you got Marcus Mariota watching that. You're like, really? I'm out of town because of that?
Marcus Mariota is doing just fine. He's like, I'm on a potential Super Bowl team, and I ain't got to do shit. I'm going to get a ring, and I ain't got to do shit. That's what he's thinking.
I mean, you got to feel pretty good about not taking those hits.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to get a ring, and I ain't going to have to do shit. I'd be fine if I was Marcus Mariota. I'm getting paid, I'm getting a ring. I'm in Philly. Everybody's riding high.
Are you picking Philly?
Atlanta.
Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, he's back up in Philly.
No. I said, are you picking Philly? Because you said we're going to get a ring. You said it 3 times.
I think it's the Niners. Niners are my favorite.
I think the Niners are really good.
Yeah. The Niners have been the most dominant team by far of any team in the NFL so far this year.
That's fair. They let the Giants hang around a little bit.
Giants. Ugh.
No, they have the most complete team right now.
That's all right. But anyway, Brandt's team's trash.
Yeah. Well, remember how hyped we all were? Remember how hyped we all were for
Darren Waller? Such a disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember being hyped for Darren Waller.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Get on the ball.
Yeah.
The best offseason. The dude is shredded. Like, come on.
Well, they were talking. There were so many reports about how he was having arguably the best preseason of any offensive player in the league.
The quote was,
the hype was real.
What does that mean?
The quote was,
not much.
The quote was, there's a few players when they're on the field, when you watch them, they just move different. Darren Waller is one of those players. That was the quote out of New York.
Move different all you want when the quarterback's laying on his back. It doesn't matter.
Well, he got plenty of opportunities this last game, and he did not capitalize. There was one play, he literally only needed to get 2 inches off the ground, and his old-ass body could not jump. No, seriously. He was coming across the middle, and it was a perfectly catchable ball for a 6'6", whatever the hell he is, tight end, and he could not get his body off the ground.
It's almost not even worth talking about tight ends, though, because despite all of that and now all the negative we have, he's still the tight end 8.
Yeah.
Because the tight end pool is –
well, when we're only
talking –
That's wild.
We're only talking 12 tight ends, though. You know what I mean? There's no depth. Yep. There's no depth to the position, so it's that's the 8th of 12 best tight ends.
The preseason hype around Waller had him. They were like, maybe it's going to be Kelsey, Andrews, Hawkinson, and Waller. Like he was right on the edge.
Yep. They were talking top 4 for sure.
Yeah. And because it was going to be volume, it was going to be this, it was going to be that. And it's not because he's not getting targeted. He's not playing well. Yep. And their offense is bad. So,
averaging 7 targets a game and had 3 catches on 7 targets last week.
He's getting
20 yards.
Two of the 3 games they played Dallas and San Francisco. Dallas at full strength and San Francisco. So there is that. He's going to get Barkley back at some point, which is going to help too. But through 3 weeks, he's been shit.
Honestly, they have a rough schedule all season. They have like 1 game here and there where it's just like, okay, you can see them maybe pulling out a win, but
that's true. They got Philly's defense twice. They got Dallas coming around again. They got Buffalo and the Jets on the docket.
They got Washington twice. There's 2 dubs possibly right there. Their defense is insane.
Daniel Jones is on the trading block.
This guy. Anyway, so Mr. Mahomes, with all the hoopla and Arrowhead with the Swifties, lining Travis Kelce's pocketbook with those jersey sales, by the way.
Oh yeah,
no kidding.
He's gonna.
It's a good money.
Can't wait to see Kelce's career crash and burn when he gets put in a song and roasted by that woman.
It'll be a couple years. Yeah, we'll see. The art
and then
takes
to
time to
release the
manifest.
He'll
album
be on to
twice.
bigger and better. He won't be worried about it.
I don't know, man. She has a
I
way
think
of ruining dudes.
I think he'll have a great time.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Ed
Honestly.
Sheeran's
He's only
doing
got
fine.
he's
so.
only got
I
3
would-
years left of his career anyway.
We only got one more, Jake.
Bring it
We're
in.
doing fine.
You know what I mean? Like, we're fine.
It's a storyline. There was
All
a
right.
lot of
For
drama.
going off the rails, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song, Patrick?
I don't even know that many, man.
We didn't ask for your top fucking 6. What's your favorite one?
The one that you know. I'm Shake It Off. I gotta go Shake It Off.
Bad Blood is kind of catchy, I guess. It's all right.
Bad
If I had to
Blood.
listen to one.
Gentleman
Bad
on the
Blood's all right.
bottom. What do you
Strozzi.
got?
What do you think?
I don't
22?
know.
I think Jake's is 22.
22. That's the
a
one.
good one. That's a good one.
That's all that took my tongue.
Oh,
What you got, Cody?
God, I think I was going 22, but I got to pick a new one.
See, I think Cody is the only real Swiftie.
Oh, here, I'll do.
Oh yeah, dog. You can. No shame. Fucking love Taylor Swift.
What's that music video you used to play in the bar at first?
Oh, the one where she like starts like in the graveyard. Like that one's fucking sick. What is that? That's my favorite one. Whatever the title is.
The
Move
only
on,
real
I'll
Swift
look it
fan
up.
does it is the only one.
Look
that
what
can't
you
name
made
a
me
song.
do. Look what you made me do.
There you go. That was it.
Or what you made me do. What are those?
Lavender Haze. What up?
I was
What
about
up?
to come with a deep
About
cut
to
and
come?
go teardrops on my guitar.
Yeah, get out. I do
Yeah.
not. I do
That's
not want
like
to talk about her
Not early,
country
Taylor.
career.
Come
I do
on.
not want to talk about her country career. She's wasted as a country artist.
Teardrops
She's
on my
supposed
guitar.
to be a pop artist.
Anyhow, you got to start somewhere, man. But you got Pat Mahomes doing his thing, Travis Kelce doing his thing. You got Marquise getting in the end zone against Dallas. That helped a lot. Philly crushing Baker Mayfield and the hapless Bucks, who were the most fake 2-0 that I've ever seen because they played two of the worst teams.
I thought that game might be more interesting, and it was not.
I was telling everybody at work, well, they're both 2-0, whatever, because the game started when we were still at work last night.
Not the same 2-0, yeah.
And I was like, guys, no, this is not. These teams are not on the same level, and it ain't close. You know, so you're going to see one team that's going to be able to move the ball on offense, and the other team is going to get annihilated. And that's what happened. So, Amari Cooper balling out with Mr. Deshaun Watson.
Amari Cooper always does.
He had a slow start.
Did you see that call in that game where the ref blew the whistle? And he was not even close to being out of bounds, and he was about to run for a 60-yard touchdown.
No,
come on, man.
Yeah,
he got going to be lucky.
He got robbed of 40 yards and another touchdown.
Yeah, he would have had 30 points. Yeah. But anyhow, that's pretty much the story over there. We're still throwing both New England's running backs in for some fucking reason.
It's so weird because Luis has a good team, and then that.
He got a great team, and then that.
Yeah,
he needs to move something. You know, he needs to try to use Tutu and Marquise to get a running back or something.
But you gotta have somebody else. You gotta.
That's all he has, a running back. He has Kenny Gainwell.
He's number one on the waivers, but he's so new to fantasy football that he's not going to probably utilize it like he should.
Well, there's not much. He misses opportunity on the waivers. The hot running backs are not there anymore.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot out there on running backs. I started Craig Reynolds, boys.
Dude, I need a running back so bad.
You and everybody else, man. The only one that actually is solid at running back is Jacoby.
Yep.
He's got 2 locked and loaded RB1s.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I know,
I will be week 5.
And about to get a third, so he can.
Cody was.
I was. Hey, when Aaron Jones comes back, it's going to look a lot better.
Just want to bring you back out.
He's gonna be back this week.
But as soon as the Packers are on bye, I'm hoping that I don't know, Derrick Henry's on bye too. You know what I'm saying? I need that to equal out a little bit.
Yeah.
Some leverage there,
Buys are starting soon. That's when the waiver wire juiciness will pick up is when the buys start. Because people are gonna have to make tough decisions. That's what's gonna happen.
True.
But so let's move on to the shootout.
But before we do that, hey, good win, Luis. 134, starting 2 running backs in New England. Good win.
2-1.
Better than Patrick.
Yeah. Better than me. Anyhow, so let's move on to the shootout that was the average Jakes and moving on up. I still don't understand what that is, but It's okay. We forgive Trish. We love having her in the league, and she's got a good team. So we'll let it slide.
She's gonna have some references from like 1970s television.
I know.
You know?
Nobody knows
I think
what they
moving
mean.
on up is just because she's always in the bottom. So it's like
it's cool for her and Todd, I guess. But
yeah, it's fine. Like nice little jokes for some old people.
Yeah, we lost the other boomers, so it's not. It's only hitting for like less than 25% of the league now.
I mean, sitcom references from the early '80s got to land somewhere.
I mean, Jacoby's only like 10 years younger than Dave. They're not that far.
Jacoby acts younger than his age.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
love you, Jacoby.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Jacoby, eat shit. Eat shit. Eat shit, Jacoby.
Erica didn't know what Marauders meant, by the way. Slight dig at the wife. Anyway. If
I put up 135 points and I lose, I'm pissed.
I know.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've never in my life thought, I'm sitting at 145 and I was still nervous.
The sweat. Because Matt Stafford might have done something.
She got A-Chain down on the bench with 49 points. 49 points on the bench.
I felt that pain. He's on my dynasty bench. I felt that pain.
I mean, how do you know?
Nobody would have done it.
I know. I wouldn't have started him. I would have left him on the bench too. Over Kenneth Walker and what Jerome Ford did last week.
I couldn't believe it.
What?
Yeah, we all would have.
In DFS, I went up against a roster that somehow had all 4 of the top scoring Dolphins. I'm just like, how?
So
because nobody in like an actual fantasy league would put A-Chain in that.
Yeah.
Fun aside, in DFS, you could have started only those 4 Dolphins and scored 203 points.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was the stat of the week in DFS land. It was brutal. Well, I had a lineup that put up 204 and only won me $20. Usually 204 is worth like 500. That's how high the points.
Not when Miami's got 70.
No,
Strozzi, you got 20 seconds to directly address Trisha. What are you saying?
No, honestly, you have a great team, and I was scared of you all week. So I feel lucky to have come out with this win this week because all week I was worried about losing it. So I give it up to Trish. No shame here, no shade.
Not everybody can be as savage as you, Cody. Someone's have to be.
Yeah, I honestly, if I tried, I would have sounded way stupider.
Did you guys hear that? It's the light side of the force breaking into the podcast.
What the? You're gone, dog.
That's last
one.
Get
him out of here. I'm out. Cut him out.
No, I'm
doing.
I was nervous all week. I don't have anything witty to say. I'm sorry, Cody. I'm not as witty as you.
I tell people like good things about you.
Saying "suck it" isn't witty, Strozzi. Just you just gotta be a dick.
It's true. It's just.
But if that's not you,
I
can respect.
Listen, I had faith
in
my
guy Laporta
though, because I've been riding Laporta all season. I knew he was going to do something, and this was the week he showed out, looking really
excellent
good.
Pickup. Excellent pickup on Johnny Laporta.
Right. And then James Conner. No, I did not expect him to have anything this week, and the Dallas Cowboys shit to bed. So
yeah,
Laporta's the tight end
I pulled this out. I pulled this one out by the skin of my teeth.
Here's something I want to say specifically
also,
to Cody.
One sec.
All right, go ahead.
The haters on the kickers every year, I'm never getting rid of kickers. I love having my kickers. He gets me 11 points every goddamn week.
You put up like the 5th best kicker performance this week. The guy you played put up a better kicker performance than you.
Yeah.
Didn't even matter. And it was a 1 point difference. Your kickers were a 1 point difference, and then they washed.
This guy's at 10 points every week, no matter what.
I'm just glad that you represent one vote.
Wait,
when that one comes down the pipe, because
it's because the boys cannot get it in the fucking end zone. 5 trips to the red zone, and they scored 1 time.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
It would be so much more fun.
That's real.
It would be
that kicker was so good that he was only 1 point less than the one he went against.
This week.
That's what I'm saying, man. It would be so much more fun to have an actually fun player to watch. An offensive player.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But I already got a ton of players to keep my eyes on.
We are playing in the 90s. Everybody moved past kickers like 5 years ago, and our league still got them.
And that's okay. We're having a good time, but there's an opportunity to make it better.
Yep, we bring it along every year.
We are not traditionalists.
No. But anyhow,
chuck it.
My question is for Cody. How many games are you going to have to see Sam Laporta put up until you start pronouncing that man's name right? Stop calling him Johnny Laporta or whatever the hell.
I went Dan first, and I liked it. I like Dan Laporta.
That's a good name, Dan Laporta.
But because it was too much like what it really was, I'm like, well, people are gonna think that I really don't know that. So Johnny Laporta is the next evolution. You'll get another one.
It's still not sure what I was calling him last week, Laporta Potty, but I can't anymore after that.
Yeah, you got to get off of that.
Good,
That's
man.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
He might be the next Kelsey. I'm just saying.
Hold on.
I don't know, man. That's a high bar.
Big claim, dog.
3 games.
Yeah.
And one of them got.
Sorry. I'm not meaning career-wise, but like the body, he looks the same.
He looks good. Well, they all look the same because they're all huge, right? But
he was quick. That 45-yard open, he was so damn open. He thought he was going to drop the damn thing. He was worried about it catching the damn ball.
This is the year that changes a little bit of the dynamic in fantasy football, where everybody says you can't play rookie tight ends because we're seeing it this year. You can play some rookie tight ends this year, and he's obviously the best one. But you can start Dalton Kincaid in the right matchup. You can start Luke Musgrave in the right matchup.
You know who started Dalton Kincaid?
Yeah, I know. I understand. He had a bad week. But all I'm saying is,
he's got
no. I wasn't
12
saying
targets through 3 games.
That's good for a tight end.
Through 3 games, 4 a game. No way.
I was just gonna say you could start Dalton Kincaid and still beat Patrick. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Sure. I knew. I figured that's where it's going. But all I'm saying is, this has been a thing in fantasy for a long time. You don't start rookie tight ends because they don't get involved. They don't figure it out until like year 3.
They teach them how to block for the first 9 weeks.
Yeah, but Sammy Ballgame, as they call him, is playing well. So
Sammy's Ballgame.
How do you know?
How do I know what Sammy Ballgame?
He makes these up. He makes those up.
It's been out there.
He doesn't know a thing. He just said it.
Streets. Okay.
As they say, as Patrick.
I know beat writers. I know people. I got contacts. I know what they call that man in the mean streets in Detroit. Sammy Ballgame. All right. Anyway, Sammy Bag of Peanuts.
Penis. That's disrespectful.
Moving on.
Side note, Jahmyr Gibbs is available. Just saying.
Okay, Jahmyr Gibbs available. You heard it here first.
For the right price, of course.
So when Patrick loads this next Monday, that's when you'll hear about this trade opportunity.
Hey, listen.
Maybe Jacoby will give you Christian McCaffrey for him.
Yeah, don't fall asleep, Patrick.
Hey, we're busy, man. We get it out before the main slate starts every week. Podcast is out. So
yeah, it was nice at least getting the podcast in on Saturday, before Sunday.
Yeah, it's a good teaser. You can remember the glory last week, and then you're ready to go for Sunday.
Yeah, the teaser 2 days after the week starts.
Hey, listen, relax. All right, we'll figure it out.
Get it together, man.
Well, we have Madden to play, guys. So
this is an intervention.
In conclusion, good game, Trisha. I whooped your ass.
There you go. Hey.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Are we looking at some matchups?
Someone's trying to get in another episode of the pod.
Keep talking like that, you might get yourself a double this year, sir. Anyway. So
next week's matchups, are we going to cover that?
Yep, that's what we're doing. Let's look it up. What do we got? Scoreboard, week 4.
Let me do mine first, because I've been waiting for this one. And just to say that Luis has got Mahomes and Kelsey going against the Jets, and he's got Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott going against Dallas. That's 4 of his starting lineup this week. And I think that might be enough for me to slop out a W.
I think you might be right. But you gotta hit, because we know the real story of your game is what can you wring out of the wash rag, man?
True.
Because I don't think you're getting Brandon Ayuk back. It's gonna help you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's practicing in full. He's ready to go. He'll be playing this week.
Do you have a squad that can score 92 so you can win 92-91?
I mean, my 3 consecutive weeks, I've put up 114, 95, and 90. So that's about my average.
Well, let's look at matchups. So Mahomes is going against – are we worried about the Jets' defense anymore?
We are. Yeah, we are. Yes, we are.
They can still hold.
I'm only worried about the Jets' defense.
Mm-hmm.
Sauce Gardner, he's gonna light it up.
He's just gonna be on the field a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
The question is, can they guard Kelsey though? Because that's going to be C.J. Mosley and the safeties, which is not the most. I mean, C.J. Mosley is a good linebacker, so I don't know if they're going to be able to hold down Kelsey, but I think they're going to be able to hold down the nuclear heights that the Chiefs' offense can rise to. I think you're going to see that. I don't think you're going to see them put up 40. I think you're going to see them put up like 20.
You guys are good enough to take away your first target, and your first target on the Chiefs is definitely Travis Kelsey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you're not going to put sauce on Travis Kelsey.
You're not, but you can scheme it to where he can help. You know what I mean? I mean, depending on some looks, you might too, but
maybe if he's running.
Dude, I'm going with Jake on this one. Sorry,
I'm thinking. I mean, like, because you're not going to see it right away. You're right, but like, you look at the wide receiver room in Kansas City, and you start thinking, you're like, can the rest of our cornerbacks handle that? I say yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get eaten alive by fucking Travis Kelsey because you're not gonna put sauce on him?
If Kelsey starts running out of the slot like he sometimes does, right? Then I think you probably do put sauce on him. If he's in the slot, then sauce should guard him.
And with Jerick McKinnon out of the backfield, they love throwing to him. Like Isaiah Pacheco runs the ball really tough too. So
they're not gonna be able to run the ball.
Well, how many points does Russell Wilson give me this week against the Bears?
Are you in?
I have to because
it might be a 6 to 9 game though.
We'll see. It might be. So what's your guess?
I think he gets you. I think he gets you 11.
Through 3 weeks, he's gotten 15, 26, and 14.
I think he gets you 11 points.
It's the Bears. He's going
11. You think his worst performance is against the Bears?
I think you see. I think you see the ugliest game that either team has played, and it's close because of it. But I think it's low scoring.
I think I might be keeping Cortland Sutton in the lineup this week.
I
understand why.
I think you see Denver beat the shit out of Chicago.
Oh, you
That's
do?
what I think. Yes.
They're pissed this week.
Yeah, but how do you get a team up after?
You tell them, hey,
they have some sort of pride.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones has longer rest, and it's Seattle. I would play Daniel Jones.
I might.
I'm playing Daniel Jones.
Move. Yeah, I'm playing Daniel Jones. The Red Rocket just fucking owned them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Put Seattle in that bin with the worst defense in the league, by the way. No pass rush, and they can't defend the pass.
We'll see.
I'm going
Jones put up 4 points and twice in 3 weeks.
I'm going with the namesake of the team. I'm putting it on the vanilla.
Here's the thing though, Jake. The weak spot for the Giants is the O-line, but the weak spot for Seattle is the defensive line. So this is a week where you might actually have time if you're Daniel Jones back there throwing the ball. This is a week where I would play him.
Barkley's still out, right?
If he's running.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is I think that's Daniel Jones.
I think you have a higher ceiling with Daniel Jones.
Watch
you got a low. You definitely got a lower floor.
Well, I need to hit it. I need to hit it right if I'm going to win this week.
Yeah.
Hit it right. Hit it tight.
It'll come down to that.
It also comes down to who he plays. If he plays both those running backs against Dallas, that's not
he's gonna. He doesn't have anybody else.
I would put Gainwell.
You can't play Gainwell right now.
Honestly,
Swift is getting it all.
Honestly, you're going to get the same amount of points.
What if he looks at what Connor did to him last week and thinks, "Oh, this is going to be just fine." I think he's going to play those.
Ezekiel Elliott is running back 47. Kenneth Gainwell is running back 48. They're the same guy.
Washington's got a good run defense too. They don't got a good lot else, but they got a good defensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Jake picked me. Other Jake picked me. Who you guys got?
I'll go with Luis.
I'm going Luis.
Down the middle. Hey, just cause.
Let's go.
No, because of. Sorry.
Shitty team.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Dude, I'd get rid of D-Hop if I were you. Tannehill's so bad.
He is, but I don't have options right now.
D-Hop's older in the hills too, and he's
and who's paying for him?
The idea is you get a player in return for D-Hop, not just give him away.
Who's giving you anything for D-Hop?
Getting a bag of chips for D-Hop right now.
Kobe.
I get some Funyuns.
And not even the good ones either. You're going to get like some
fishing.
shitty Lays. Like, not even like some good kettle chips.
I have a question. D-Hop or Garrett Wilson?
I was just thinking that. That's so
Garrett
weird.
Wilson. Garrett Wilson.
I was like, go get Garrett Wilson, but damn.
But
Garrett
how
Wilson.
close is it now?
It's a
I would take D-Hop because Tannehill's just bigger and can see more of the field. That's my reasoning.
Interesting take.
I like Garrett Wilson.
And he has way more experience. Do you need
I
more?
love that they're in the same conversation.
Me too. Me too. For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's sad. One of the best wide receivers in the league getting fucking butthole by the other Wilson.
Serious.
But where you got Austin and Todd? I think that's a pretty easy one at this point.
Anyone who's not Austin.
Yeah.
Todd.
Do we need to talk about that one?
Yeah.
Todd.
Cody and Allen.
Wait.
The winners.
Okay.
Even bigger question. Who
Save
does
that one
he
for
play
last.
at tight end this week? Kincaid or Freiermuth?
It's got to be Kincaid. I
Oh.
just don't care about Pat Freiermuth.
Houston.
Freiermuth is going against Houston.
Hey, that game is going to be delicious. Buffalo and Miami.
Yeah.
In Buffalo. Let's go.
I want people in that game. I want people in the Miami matchup.
They're going to not score. They're going to get like 10 points each.
Nah, there's no way that game's going to be a 50.
I think the odds of that are low.
Yeah.
But that's why it would happen, is because everybody's like, oh, it's going to go off. And then they're like, it's too much hype.
Well, that's believing in low probability, sir.
I don't see it.
And we're not about that on this podcast.
Okay, Mr. Devil's Advocate. You're the biggest
I'm the
devil's
numbers guy.
advocate.
I'm the numbers guy here.
No, I'm the numbers guy. Go for
In this argument, you shut your fucking mouth.
Shit.
We lost Wilson. Wilson's gone.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, he told me shit.
Yeah,
I saw you so happy.
I said, you fuck yourself.
You broke him.
Oh, well.
You broke him.
That's too bad.
Champ is dead.
Let's keep this thing going. All
right, let's go. Okay, so we picked Todd and Austin.
We all picked Todd.
Jacoby. Let's pick me and Jacoby. Who you got?
Ooh, I want to see these matchups because, dude, Cleveland.
Got some good ones.
Cleveland.
So
I'm winning this week. I got Jalen Waddle.
We know how you feel. You shut the fuck up for a second. Me and Strozzi are gonna break this down because you are so fucking unrealistic about everything.
Of course, it's great,
dude. Okay, so like right out the gate, because you don't think Jordan Love, fucking Lamar Jackson, you're ever gonna pick Jordan Love, but look at those matchups, dog. Look at those matchups. I like Jordan Love there.
Short week on that.
And then we're going right down the line. Christian McCaffrey and Alexander Madison. How do you feel, Stroz?
Oh, I think it's pretty clear cut there, bud.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to double him up? Because I do. All right, let's go again. Alvin Kamara comes back.
Who are they playing?
Tampa Bay.
New Orleans. They're playing Tampa Bay.
And then Chicago is against Denver.
And you have a Bronco on your team. So like
I think Devontae running against Chicago. It's gonna be great.
I think that's a wash because tomorrow's.
Let's say it's a wash and we'll look at it. Debo's. I don't know if Debo's gonna play or not. So one I just don't know.
All right, let's assume he's healthy. I'm
gonna assume some health. It's a dangerous play, sir. It's a dangerous play.
All right, then it's hypothetical. He's healthy.
Well, we know the Bills are going to have to put up points, right? So who do you think the ball's going to there?
I like Diggs there. I do like Diggs there. I like Diggs there because I mean Adam Thielen, if fucking Red Rifle is still going and it's back to Minnesota, who do you think is getting that ball a lot? It's Adam Thielen. We're secondary in the league. So you might have a wash at Diggs only because of a weird matchup there, which you'd hate to see.
If Diggs doesn't get in the end zone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we've got David Njoku over Mark Andrews, but Cleveland defense is the only thing that might make that right. Jets against KC. I don't know if that
AJ
holds.
Brown.
Where we at? AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
Oh yeah, because
AJ Brown is for sure taking that matchup in my book.
Well, I see that he's got
Washington.
But see, I also think that he's got DeAndre Swift out for memes, and I think he'll probably make that switch and play Swift against Washington, and move memes the fuck out of there. I know I would. Can't sleep on Swift right now. I think I'm picking Jacoby. I think I'm picking Jacoby.
You're insane.
You think so?
I think so.
How certain are you?
Easy. I'm very certain. I feel real good about this week.
I'm going real easy, he says. Real easy. Strozzi, what do you think?
Well, I think I'm gonna go with Jacoby also.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Oh,
when
God,
you
that's
start
fun.
looking.
Yes,
It's
Now,
weird.
we got audio back in Wilsonville. What do you think?
It's weird. I almost wanted to say just because of the tight end matchup, but they haven't been mattering this year for that
They
many
don't.
teams.
my
You
wide
look-
receivers are going to win it this week for me. I got 3 dogs. I got 3
wow.
dogs.
Oh, geez. What does
You
Mr.
better-
Wilson think?
I think that the Jets defense is going against the Chiefs, and on this side of it, I don't like it. As much as I was like, I don't like Kelsey and Mahomes
Mhm.
What's the
relative to
reason?
other competitors.
Mhm.
Nope. I don't want the Jets.
Final decision.
Against the
I'm
Chiefs.
going with Patrick based solely on the fact of like
See?
who he's putting in and over who he's putting them in over. Like
This is why the
I would be
world will
putting
never
in
remember your
Swift
name.
in at the flex all day. I'd be putting in
He's going to.
He's going to play Swift.
He's going to play
Yeah.
Swift. Mims is out.
Well, it's tough though. It's closer than it should be. It's in my head.
Mhm.
It's like I'm
It-
like, Patrick
I'm
wins because it's
struggling.
Dave's team. But
But not
I'm
when you're
struggling.
looking at it.
Who are the
All right,
Vikings
fine.
playing this week?
Carolina.
Alexander Mass is going to run the ball.
Are
that
you
was
putting
good.
your faith in winning in Alexander Madison all of a sudden?
This
Yeah.
is he's
I
had
gotta
2
go
weeks
with
of the
Patrick.
best matchups that he's had all year this week in week 3.
So am
Did
I alone?
fine.
Am I alone in
Okay.
picking Jacoby this
Hey
week?
guys, Pat does have Jake Elliott.
That's right.
Patrick's put up at least 110 in 3 consecutive weeks, and
right.
Jacoby has only hit triple digits once. So I
Respect the Prince.
the numbers say Golden Patrick.
Respect the
I'm
Prince.
taking
Unless
Jacoby.
Jacoby gets another 30 burger from Adam Thielen, then maybe I'll reconsider. But
I'm
if
telling
that's
you
not
right now,
happening,
Jacoby's
Probably
winning that matchup.
I'm gonna lock in. I'm locking in Patrick.
You're looking at 1-3 commish.
I'm taking
Ooh, that would be
60
tough.
points away from these wide receivers this week.
that'd be
Locked and
tough.
loaded.
I don't know. We'll see what Jalen Waddle does. against
Patrick, why do you
Buffalo's
say those
defense.
things? Why do you say
Because
these things
I'm
that we
confident
can
man. I
have
speak
receipts of?
truth. Speak truth.
No,
hit
no,
your,
you
hit your
just.
mute button when you say shit like that.
It's called that you're entrapping. It's entrapment, or you're
Listen.
on yourself.
It's
Listen,
true. You are
move on.
self-incriminating as shit.
let's get off my glorious team and let's move on to
1-2.
let's move on to Strozzi and Erica. 2-1.
Well, history says that I win every time. So,
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Interesting.
true.
That's
and
a lot like me
history
and
is
Patrick's
right
matchups.
with me and Jake, then I think on that logic,
I think this is a surprisingly low score matchup this week out of our teams, because I'm seeing some defenses on one side and I'm seeing just some people I don't like on the other.
Here's what we got. You got 2 big golden eggs in Erica's basket. And you got 2 in Strozi's. That's how I look at it. You got Jamar Chase going against Tennessee. That's a sack lunch. Gonna be good. That man's going to dinner. All right.
But you
Other
know-
side is
but-
T. Higgins against
but
the
you-
same defense.
That's fine. It's Jamar Chase though. Jamar Chase is gonna eat them boys up.
What? Yeah, but like the big burger that's on Strozzi's team. We're all looking
yeah.
at it.
Tyreek.
Tyreek and Buffalo.
And then but here's the other thing he's got going
Ooh.
on. He gets
Ooh.
Justin Herbert against the Raiders.
You love
We're
that.
not good on defense.
You love
Yeah,
that.
Well, there's going to be a lot coming down to a few games, because the other side of that, you got Mostert against Buffalo's defense after
Yep.
putting up 40 points last week.
Dude, I
I
can't
don't think he
wait
does that
to
against
watch that
Buffalo.
Miami Buffalo game. That's gonna be
That's
so
gonna
sick.
it's gonna be a passing game. Those 2 teams can
They'll
stop
pass
the run.
it to Raheem Mustard. Mustard
Mustard,
Colonel
Raheem
Mustard.
Mustard.
Raheem
The Colonel?
Mustard with
Someone's
a
hungry.
candlestick in
The
the
Colonel
library.
in the end zone with a touchdown.
There it is. Colonel
Who you
Mustard.
boys picking though? And this one's like a coin flip too.
I like
I
Hawk for a big week. against
Yeah, but
Carolina.
like you don't like fucking
Laporta?
Lucas Laporta.
The Packers have a good linebacker in Quay Walker.
God, I'm never listening to you when you say shit about the Packers. You shut the fuck up.
Been right so far.
No, you haven't.
Absolutely.
Stop
have.
saying that. You have not.
Did I not say they were going to contend for the playoffs? They're 2-1 fighting for the division lead. Let's go.
I think this matchup comes down to Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley against Atlanta. If they can combine
Absolutely.
for 40, I think she wins. If not, I think that's the mark.
That's a good point. That's a
It
good
really
point.
depends
Also-
on who eats in
Yeah, man.
Miami, too.
Well, James Conner's going to have a fucking seemingly, because I would have said this last week against Dallas too, seemingly a rough day against
You
San
did.
Francisco.
You did say that.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Damian Pierce is gonna have a rough day.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Damian Pierce is gonna have a rough day too.
Are you picking yourself on your own matchup?
Of course, always.
Surprised since you went so fucking soft on the goddamn recap.
I'm going wifey.
I'm saving it for Mr. Butthole Wreckers.
There you go.
Save it all for 1 week.
Save it all for me, baby.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna do the whole road, buddy.
He's saving himself.
You know, I'm looking at the matchups, and I can't stop looking at Justin Herbert, Tyreek Hill, and T. Higgins, and Sam Laporta. I think
we gotta say him.
We did. Don't. Don't
you fucking.
Don't you mother. Yeah. I think I'd take average Jakes in this lineup.
It's on a knife's inch.
It is a
game, I think.
This one's close, and it's because we get to see all that Buffalo Miami goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
but I will tell you this: I'm less nervous going against this squad than I was Trisha's. But I still whooped that ass.
About 45.
Not really.
Okay. Attaboy.
She got 135, and I still won by 10.
It's fair.
I think you're allowed to say
starting to sound better.
Ass whooping when you got the number 1 point and you still beat the number 2 point. You know what I mean?
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah. Anytime you get tops.
And you love it. Nobody would have I would have whooped every one of your asses this week.
That's what we want.
There we go.
That's
where
it's
at. That's where it's
you got to get it out of me. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So,
we'll let you warm up.
Just took an hour.
We got one more. We got one more to pick. And then we're gonna go to Cody and Allen because they do deserve it. They're both 3-0. But Trish and Brent. I mean, I got to go Trish. Brent.
Yeah, because Brent's garbage.
Brent, all day.
Brent's struggling.
I
Brent
think
can't
Brent's
score.
got Khalil Herbert
points.
in this week, so he took out the double-headed.
Thank God.
Atlanta attack.
Thank goodness. I mean, how do you not after seeing what Denver allowed?
I think you get a big game out of Josh Allen. I think you get a big game out of Bijan this week for Brent. That's what he's got to hang his hat on.
I think you're right.
Brent's hanging his hat on Tank Dell, though. I don't know if he does it again. We'll see.
Trisha is just so set at every position. Doesn't matter. Any week, she's good. Doesn't have to do anything on their team all year.
Coming into a lineup like that was huge for her.
Yeah.
She looks really good.
He's going to run into Baltimore this week, though. But I think Tank Dell is going to really disappoint him this week because I think C.J. Stroud is going to be under pressure all game long.
You're probably
Alex
right.
Highsmith and T.J. Watt are going to be all over them.
It does seem like Houston's just chucking it, though. Like
they are, but you got to chuck it quick with T.J. Watt coming at you.
I hear you. I'm just saying, like, he might have a lot of opportunities.
Third most yards in first 3 games ever.
I don't know. He's playing well, but they have a bad offensive line. And they beat Jacksonville this week, sure, but Jacksonville doesn't have a pass rush. You have 2 bona fide edge rushers in Pittsburgh.
I'm not talking about their matchups. I'm just talking about history right now. C.J. Stroud is the 3rd most yards in 3 games as a starter, like as a rookie ever in the history.
After watching him in the preseason and then watching how he's played in the regular season, I am very pleasantly surprised with how good he has looked.
I'm on the border of turning around my opinion on what I thought C.J. Stroud was going to be in the NFL.
Yeah, he's played well.
Yeah, he has. And they are throwing it. I thought they'd be running the ball heavy in Houston, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
They got defensive court. I would say they got a defensive-minded head coach, and usually that like translates into a lot of running the ball.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out for me and Damian Pierce yet.
No,
they got some weapons in wide receiver too. I mean, Nico and Tank Dell, man, they've been doing it. So
we're all picking Trish.
Yeah.
Tough stuff.
Got
for
it.
sure.
Justin Jefferson is gonna murder Carolina. Oh my God, gonna murder those boys.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
200 yards for JJ this week.
But hey, let's get to the best matchup of the week.
The one you're gonna lose?
We already covered it.
America's game of the week.
Need to talk about it. It's gonna be Allen, right?
Yeah, clearly.
Allen all day.
Right, that's the end of the podcast, everybody.
Yeah. All right, shut her down.
Yes.
Nice job, guys. 2 hour
Yeah.
mark. Let's fucking shit on Cody. All right, we're out.
That's what I'm talking about.
See
It feels so good.
Wait, well, we can't ever score Allen's matchups. So
I know, and that pisses me off.
I know it's so inconvenient for this moment right here.
And he doesn't care. He really doesn't care. So
He cares. He loves it.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think
You're right, he
gets his
does.
fucking rocks off on the fact that we have to scroll 9 miles down and then not have anything in order. Fucking stupid.
Here's the thing: they could get a W for Cody. Okay,
he dropped Josh Kelly. Sorry.
It's going to all hinge on Amon-Ra and Alexander's matchup, right? And then how big of a game Keenan Allen has. Not if he has a good game. How big of a game is
Yeah.
he's going to have a good game.
Does he put up 30?
Yeah, that's what it's going to depend on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you got Puka Nuclear against Indianapolis too.
Yes,
that's
I do.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be a great week for Mr. Jones coming back again against Detroit. I think if the Packers are going to win that game, they got to move the ball through the air. But Aaron Jones, his big game against Chicago, most of that was through the air. So
he loves scoring touchdowns. He's into that.
So much that he leaves his hamstrings behind when he's scoring them.
He sure does. Don't need him.
Don't need him. Are you playing Anthony Richardson next week if he's healthy?
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Yeah, because they're gonna run him and run him and run him.
Right.
Into Aaron Donald's face. I don't know, man.
Also,
they'll run him the other way.
You better.
Also, you don't want Dak against
They will.
That's scary.
It's true. I think the Dak's got a moderately low ceiling next week, and Anthony Richardson can get 17 points in one quarter because they just want to run the ball with him, and I love that. Yeah. I don't need them to win. I need Anthony Richardson to run that ball, and he's good at it.
That's right. That's why I got Fields.
Yeah.
If anybody wants it.
If Richardson's healthy, you got to pick Richardson because that man has a ceiling a mile high because of his running ability.
I'm just worried that Bill Belichick's going to decide to take CeeDee Lamb out of the game instead of Tony Pollard, and then Tony Pollard goes motherfucking nuts.
It's possible.
That'll be bad for you.
They did get run on. Well, it's not. You can't really say it because Philly can run on anybody. I have yet to see. I mean, maybe the 49ers or Buffalo could maybe stop their run, but outside of that, I don't think anybody's stopping that O-line. They're too good.
Dallas
consistently.
Cody, it's tough to call you though, because let's say because you're only projected like 92 points.
Yeah, but that's with Craig Reynolds and a zero burger on the projection.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is in there.
Aaron Jones is playing on a short week though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he healthy enough?
But he's supposed to play.
He's gonna play.
So
he's playing?
Yeah. Watson up in the air. Jones is playing.
Yeah, I feel a little better about not having Craig Reynolds in for this matchup.
To me, the decision is as easy as there's only 2 3-0 teams in the league, and one of them lost Nick Chubb for the year. So I'm going with Allen. That's my.
I'm probably, like I said, it's going to be close. Allen's loaded at wide receiver.
Yeah,
and he's getting Kirk Cousins against Carolina. And AJ Brown just torched Tampa Bay, and you got Mr. Chuck It Winston back there this week. He's going to be throwing it up to Olave. So,
dude, I'm real fucking worried about Chris Olave with Jameis Winston. I am nervous about that. I'm hoping that for whatever reason, the bad blood between New Orleans and Tampa Bay just continues, and they get in a fight, and he leaves the game.
I'd be nervous if he put in George Pickens too against Houston.
I know, but maybe the other guys want to share in some
maybe,
energy.
Man, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
It's always Lattimore and Evans. Those are the ones that fight. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait to watch that again.
I know.
Can't wait to watch Mike Evans.
And it was gonna be Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield. God damn it.
Yeah. Jameis and Baker's fun.
Yeah, it'll be all right. But we could have got Mr. Wilson involved in liking somebody. You know what I'm saying? One of them was gonna win that game, and maybe it wouldn't have looked good doing it. But what if it would have? Yeah.
One of them still will, just from the bench.
Yeah, you're right.
But here's the thing. Public service announcement. There is a overseas game this week. If you have any Jacksonville or Atlanta players, that game starts at 8:30 a.m. Central Time for me. It starts at 6:30 for you guys. So I'm telling you now. So I'm gonna roast your ass if you do something stupid like play somebody's not playing. So there you go.
Are you watching the animated broadcast? Because I'm low-key looking forward to that.
I'm guessing the podcast is going to come out about an hour before that game starts. So
I know. So listen to it and you'll know.
No chance. I get the fucking podcast before that Thursday game. 0.
What Thursday?
I'm at the London one, bro.
I might get it up tomorrow night.
Should.
Yeah,
we did it, boys. Just shy of the 2-hour mark.
Hey,
who has a long one?
You're welcome. It is. Well, we had a guest. We had to fit in a whole nother commentary.
It's a good excuse. It's a good excuse.
Not a ton of commentary, but I chimed in here and there. So
you did great.
It was, dude. I'm glad you decided not to go with that fucking blur background the whole time because I was struggling.
Yeah, I didn't like it. That was annoying.
Yeah, it was. Fun.
I'm like doing this, and it's like blurs following my fucking arm.
Mm-hmm.
It was also making your face.
Because you're the same color as the background, dog.
Yeah.
You green screened yourself.
You did. Good base screen there, dog.
I'm doing this. All right, we'll get it going next time.
Yeah.
We're going with the Talking Heads podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted once I saw yours, I was like, I need mine to be like right here.
Yeah.
It's because we all got the computer screen. But
no, we don't. We don't all have that.
Well, don't worry about it. We do.
And you want a webcam?
So anyway,
yeah.
Cody gives a shit with Cody.
Well, yeah, because I don't have a computer monitor. This is on my fucking living room TV.
Yeah, 2 laptops and 2 PCs.
There you go.
I like Jake's setup the best.
Yeah, Wilson's house.
I got laptop under my phone, which is basically a little laptop, and that's it. And my bong to my right.
There you go.
I have my fucking webcam on a stack of.
Jeez.
Shout out to weed, folks.
7 books. 7 books is the tower.
You own 7 books.
That's impressive.
You own a book?
My house smells like rich mahogany. I have many leather
books.
7 Bibles.
I am the owner of 18 books. Thank you very much. How about
guy.
that?
You have 18 Bibles?
I'm in my mid-30s. What's up? You want to know how many of these are self-help books? Hold on.
17.
How many are you sitting on?
It's a lot.
The other one's his autobiography.
I like
17
sitting on
17 self-help books and 1 Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
It's D&D. Thank you very much.
That's a classic. It's a classic.
And 1 Taylor Swift coloring book. What?
All his drawings are outside the books. All of them.
All right, guys. Should we wrap it up?
That's it. We did it. Yeah, I gotta smoke another joint before Alan gets. God, it's only 8:30. Never mind. I'm gonna be awake for a long time before Alan comes gets this mad ass whooping this week.
We drank a coffee at 6 just because we knew we were playing some Madden Ultimate Team tonight. So we gotta go get this work.
Hey, do you wanna get a game in just before you get your Ultimate Team on?
Sure. Why not?
Social pressure. Let's go.
I'm a watch.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Good night, gentlemen.
Thanks for letting me join the podcast.
Peace.